Hey guys, I hope we're all good. Well, anyways, hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto livestream. And something very strange happened today. I've actually been updating myself with all the news within the XRP community for, I would say, the last couple of hours, and I've noticed a very strange trend, but specifically a couple of pieces of info that I think you guys will also be a little bit cool. I guess you'll look at it and think, what exactly does that mean? What exactly is that all about? Because again, things are pretty crazy in the space right now. One of the central questions that's being asked right now is by the digital asset investor, hey, is JPM coin a security? And that goes actually quite far, as well, we've had the connections for a couple of years by now. You guys know, right? R3. We've talked about Corda so many times on the channel by now. I'd say at least 100 or maybe 200 times. R3 launches a universal settler application to facilitate global payments on Corda. XRP, the first settlement mechanism. We talked about this whole debacle. It's been a very long journey. Again, a little while ago as well, we saw Ripple rifle R3 to power JP Morgan-backed securities finance startup, HQLA. And that is kind of expanding right now. That whole debacle, and digital asset investors just going wild with all the connections, specifically because JP Morgan is also so very much connected to Ethereum. We keep talking, we have to keep talking about it because, well, it just keeps increasing in terms of importance. So digital perspectives, is that Brad Kimes or is that a different person? Did he like change the name, or is Brad Kimes like a different individual? I do not actually know. I've never spoken to these guys, both of them actually. I don't think I've ever spoken to. Or maybe it's just one guy, I don't know. But then again, it wouldn't make sense. I guess this is a different person. Who's Brad Kimes then? Give me 1 second. No, it is the same guy. Okay, never mind. It is. Just making that sure. And everybody, if you're in the chat box, always say hi or something like that. You know, we always have our little rule in the chat. If you come into the chat box during a live stream, you got to just quickly say hi or what's up. I can see you guys all typing it in. We have 150 people watching. Just say hi or something like that. Just say, state that you're here. Don't just keep watching like a weirdo. You know, it's a chat box. You know, we all here together. That's why I'm doing a live stream. So just say hi and let's keep talking. You know, if you guys have any crazy information as well, sometimes we could do a show where some people come in and explain their story, by the way, or explain what they think about the situation. If you have some crazy knowledge, I think that could be kind of cool every now and then. So, Digital Perspective shared R3 says XRP is wholesale, knee bone connected to the leg bone. Well, that was actually just now, and this will go a lot further. We're excited to share that DTCC selected R3's Corda as the underlying distributed ledger technology for its project Ion settlement platform, which is now live in a parallel production environment, processing over 100,000 transactions per day. Enigma shared, to be clear, R3 Corda DLT is not, nor uses the XP Ledger. It's a permission blockchain with smart contract capabilities. Even not using the XP Ledger per se, XRP could still be used as a bridge asset for settlement in cross-border payments between CBDC. A lot of people are excited about it, partially for that reason, but it goes a little bit further than that, by the way. But let's move on, though, because there's so much more. Look at this. The light shines. Wall Street's DTCC launches private blockchain platform to settle trades. This is an R3 Corda. But then, and this is it goes on and on and on. Digital investor sharing everything. Tim Draper owns XRP. I wish I'd asked him if it was via an option contract. Do not believe do not believe there is any. I do not believe there are only 2 option contracts for XRP. And the information about that is, wait, let me see. There's actually a video. I didn't even notice that. Does it play sound? Greg Kidd, 1 billion XP option contract. R3, 5 billion XP option contract before lawsuit, which is actually an interesting little thought to connect everything together. And I wonder if anyone else has XP option contracts. Can I play this? Apparently, this shall not be played.
Or both.
Okay, it has sound. Let me see what digital asset investor has to share. So we'll put this one off.
XRP or both?
Well, Ripple is XRP is the Ripple currency. Yes, I'm an owner of Ripple or XRP.
When the SEC lawsuit came out, did you sell all of your XRP?
Oh no, Oh no, on the whole industry, I am very optimistic.
Are you an owner in Ripple or XRP or both?
Well, Ripple is XRP is the Ripple currency. Yes, I'm an owner of Ripple or XRP.
When the
Wanted to listen to that Whoa, scared the crap out of me. I didn't know it could do that. I'm not sure what it's doing. We have now gotten ourselves a moving screen, my guys. What is that? You know, I'm having issues with this screen. I swear it's living a life on its own. If you're not noticing what's happening, I'm not sure if you guys can see it properly. It's like the colors are low. Okay, I did not know I had a moving screen. I thought it was like a one color thing. Maybe I'm just going nuts. You know, everybody's looking at it thinking, Dusty, what are you talking about? This thing is not moving at all, my friend. What have you been on today? If that's the case, I'm sorry about that one. Screensaver. Oh, interesting. I've never seen that yet in all the years I've owned a thingy. Screensaver. That's new to me. I normally had a different screensaver. It says like MacBook Pro and in corners. It doesn't matter. It's okay. I saw it change yesterday during live stream, but not this screensaver. I've never seen this before. I have, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? It's not that important. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the stream already, or at least you're in the chat box, you want to support, make sure you press that like button. It is getting crazy hot in here. And you can see it's slowly starting to crawl up, because I have a lot of blinds closed, but I want to keep some light. It's starting to climb up where the sun is at an angle, where it's eventually going to pierce my eyes. All right, so you just keep watching as this little splick is going to continue up and apparently eventually annoy the crap out of me. This was a conversation, though, between DAI and apparently Tim Draper, who is very vague, and that's why I played it twice. I don't understand. This guy now, he says, XRP Ripple, I own Ripple, I mean XRP. Like, what? But, yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. And he wanted to ask him if he held option contracts. I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure exactly why that would matter, to be honest with you. Is this somebody else? No, it must have been Tim Draper that he talked with. I wish I'd asked him if it was via an option contract. Why did that matter? I do not believe there are only 2 option contracts for XRP. Maybe it's just to put up the idea that there's multiple different people holding this XRP via option contracts. Maybe. And that's in the same sense, I mean, though, R3 having that option contract was a very big deal by that time. Let's scroll back down, though, because it kind of is like a little loophole of things. So let's go back from here. A thing was asked, or a thing was put up. And let's quickly go through this little section as well. The Chamber of Digital Commerce founder, this is a year ago, and President Priyan on crypto regulation, quote, this regulation, this is too long to play, by enforcement is not good for industry, it's not good for the SEC, and ultimately we need better clarity. Santiago Velez says, so Priyan, when amicus curiae in the SEC enforcement versus Ripple case, you know, when somebody's stepping in. Actually, says, good question. Priyan said, there is a formal process at the time to submit briefs. We are following that process. However, this was October 7th because they wanted to join in the Ripple case because it doesn't make a lot of sense. And that's literally what she says. Chamber of Digital Commerce founder and President Priyan DC, right? You guys can read it with me right there. However, then you can see digital asset investor asked John Deaton, hey, John, does the formal process normally take this long? Because it's been a year. My BS meter is going through the roof at this point. And I've yet to see a reply from John. But the majority of people said, no, it doesn't take this long. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Then again, if you guys know, let me know. But John Dean has yet to respond. But this is a whole lot of crap to me, as of this point at least, right? I'm looking at this thinking, this seems like a lie. Then again, you got to understand as well, founder of Digital Chamber, hashtag Bitcoiner, was at some point saying, hey, we need to get into the Ripple case. But apparently they did not for some strange reason. Goes a little bit further, all right? There was something which happened about 21 hours ago that shocked the markets. It shocked everybody by storm. Again, guys, if you're just now in the chat box, put in there where you're watching from. I like to read every single place. It's also fun to see that you guys are all watching from all different places of the world, which is kind of scary from a different perspective, but all right. Digital asset investor had a response to it, but Gary Gensler said this, and this is so scary. There's no reason to treat the crypto market differently from the rest of capital markets just because it uses a different technology. Now, I think any human being with a little brain can understand that this op-ed on the Wall Street Journal was pretty scary. And actually, there's a couple guys that are not necessarily XRP fans that are also looking at this thinking, Mark Cuban, billionaire Mark Cuban, calls out the SEC chairman over crypto regulations. In a recent tweet, he called out Chair Gensler over his opinion piece in the Wall Street Journal. The SEC chair had claimed in his opinion piece that the crypto market should not be treated differently from the rest of the capital markets. Mark Cuban, however, had a response saying, "Come in and talk to who?" As Gary Gensler said again, "There's no reason to treat the crypto markets differently from the rest of the capital markets just because they use different technology." We just read that. "Come in and talk to who? Set up an appointment. How? You using Calendly these days? Since you understand crypto lending and finances, why don't you just publish bright line guidelines you would like to see and open it up for comments?" And this to me is interesting because Mark Cuban is not normally on the Ripple side, so openly at least. But this is literally what Ripple's been preaching, appointment, and John Dean also. They keep saying, the SEC keeps saying, hey, let's open a discussion. We'll fund it. We'll pay for it. Let's get a thought process going, or just publish some guidelines. Ripple's also on that same brand of saying, hey, SEC just published some guidelines. Get us some idea of what the frick is going on in crypto. But they're not willing to do so. Mark Cuban is now also kind of done with it, I guess. So the rest of what he's saying, I'm not really too excited about, but hey, I'm glad there are so many super clear Oh, it went really fast. Dogecoin co-founder Billy Marcus also sarcastically commented, "I'm glad there are so many super clear guidelines for all this stuff after 10 years of existing," end quote, which is indeed strange. And earlier, XP lawyer John Dean also wrote an opinion piece for Fox News in a reply to the SEC chair. Despite I didn't check this far, by the way, I already stopped, but let's see. Despite the SEC chair claiming they are accessible and open to discussing regulation, industry players do not get such responses when they approach the SEC, which is funny. It's like, hey, if there's ever anything, come to Papa. Come to me, I'll help you out. But then when you try to do so, you're like, who are you? Get your ass out of here. Who are you talking to, boy? It's kind of how it's going, at least how I feel, or how I perceive it, I guess. And then SEC has filed lawsuits against several big crypto companies, Coinbase being the latest one. I think the best example is indeed, this is like a critical example that some people I think already know, because I've most likely read it somewhere. It's when a guy is acting like the most, or maybe a woman, doesn't matter too much, anything goes, is acting like the most sweetest gentleman in the world to a woman or whatever. Everything looked good from the outside world, when they're with people. So to the outside world, they look like the most perfect couple in the world. Like, wow, I wish I had this man. And then the door closes and it's just, or something like that. It's along those lines, which the SEC is doing, in a sense of, on the outside, they keep saying, hey, we're your friends. If there's ever anything, come to me, I'll help you out. We want to make sure that everybody is good. We, as an SEC, are protecting you as investors. But then when you start to send a little message like, hey, I can you help, can you maybe not do, they're like, you just opened the wrong chat box or something like that. Papa Gensler does not like that. No. No. All right. And it's kind of funny. Digital Asset Investor said, as long as you're holding Ethereum to a different standard than the rest of the crypto, you have no credibility. Period. Yeah, it's it's a funny joke. Wheezy, I'm just kind of quoting Digital Asset Investor for some stuff here because it's too funny. I wonder if Hinman assisted with those contracts from Alibaba. I'm not sure what this is actually about. Wait a minute. Let's.
Actually talked to very high-level people from Alibaba just yesterday. Yeah.
I think to go for the Ethereum ICO. No, this is too. I'm not sure actually what this is all about. I'm thinking maybe this is about the Ethereum ICO, where he was talking to the Alibaba people to invest their Bitcoin to buying Ethereum. Not 1,000% sure on this one. But let's go on. Another class action lawsuit 9 hours ago against Coinbase alleges the company failed in its obligation to set robust security measures, leaving users' accounts vulnerable to theft and fraudulent transfers. Okay, I'm going to read that later. Actually, I'm going to take a look at that. I have covered something along those lines for different exchanges, but I didn't know Coinbase is also being sued for that. That's interesting. Digital asset investors sharing truth is almost extinct in this country. Don't expect to see this on CNBC. Let's also take a look. Today we're streaming, so we can watch all these little videos. I like that.
Inflation is made in Washington because only Washington can create money. And any other attribution to other groups of inflation is wrong. Consumers don't produce it. Producers don't produce it. The trade unions don't produce it. Foreign sheiks don't produce it. Oil imports don't produce it. What produces it is too much government spending and too much government creation of money and nothing else.
So I have a very strong opinion on this one, and that's he is completely right. At the end of the day, it all comes down to government spending. Now, whether or not that's appropriate is the debate you can have, as it all depends on the spending and whatnot. And I think it's all connected. However, his underlying fact, I think, is still mostly correct, where at the end of the day, it's what the government does with the money that they have, right? They decide to spend it poorly. You'll usually get this exact consequence. That is most of the time true, so I guess I'm just going to agree with that. Here, I just watched this. I'm not exactly sure why we praise this Novogratz guy still. Oh, whoa. Let's do a little small screen. What was that? By the way, are we all good? Is the stream not lagging at all? Are we still good, guys? Just quickly give me a yes or no in the chat box. And also, if you're watching this, make sure you press that like button. Just do both of them. Somebody says sounds like a good. But either you guys are very far behind. Oh, there we go. We're still good. Oh, perfect. Thank you, guys. Just making sure, because I saw a little drop in views. I'm like, maybe something's happening here. All right. So, this Novogratz guy, you guys all know him. This is a strange individual, you know. Look at what he just wrote.
You know, after the collapse, I called the guy, and, you know, he had literally gotten in a fight with his wife that morning. He had gotten so drunk, he passed out in the hallway, and he had lost all his money. And I was like, I'm a kind of an inside guy here, I'm telling you. And you looked me in the eye and promised me to sell.
So people are very much in on this one, because at the end of the day, isn't it kind of funny that he, in this case here, I'm assuming is it about Ethereum? Everybody's saying it's about Ethereum. I'm not 100% sure on what this exact conversation here is about at this summit. I'm assuming Ethereum because that's what he usually talks about, but it could actually be XRP. That's most logical, though, if you guys think about it. Maybe it's more logical if it's XRP. I'm thinking people are saying he's connected to Ethereum, which we all know Mike Novogratz is, and then it's logical if he's talking about XRP and he's telling his friend, hey, just sell it, because he knows as an insider guy, which some people call insider trading, some people call an unfair advantage, that maybe some regulations are going to be bestowed upon it rather soon, right? Something to think about, something to surely think about. If somebody knows when exactly this Summit 2020, or what he's talking about here, is he talking about XRP? Summit 2022, Mike Novogratz. Let's give this a little search here. Okay. Let's see. I found it. How's Galaxy doing? Mental health, yada, yada, yada. Let's see if I can find this piece. Yeah, how far in would this be, guys? He's sitting like this the whole time. Just going to look for the angle where his feet are like that. Let's see.
In crypto. So there was no...
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit harder than I had expected, as it's a pretty long video. It's 47 minutes long. And in it, it is described, yet... how can I find the exact piece where he is talking? We're just going to skip it, I guess. Let's just move on, though. I'm noticing something very strange is happening to the chat. I'm seeing spikes of like 100 people. So just a second ago, we had almost 300. Now we have 230. Now we have 270, 210. How many people does it show that are in the chat box for you guys? Mine is fluctuating like mad. We don't normally get this. What's going on? A couple things are happening for the XP Ledger. But, you know, the native NFTs, for example, but I think that story is being fixed already rather simply. You guys can see as well. Look at that. 238, 225, 247, 245, 270, 225. Not sure what's happening. Oh, yeah. The DTCC, we talked about it just now a second ago. FWIW. I sent an email to the DTCC yesterday, excuse the typos, on the heels of the announcement of the partnership with R3/Project Ion. I received the following response this morning from their executive director, bio, attached. Any thoughts? So apparently, he sent, congratulations on your big announcement. Wait a minute. My small little monkey brain can't actually figure out exactly which email comes first. Oh my days. I'm having a big goof up right now, guys. Is the bottom email or the top email first? No, of course the top is later. Right, so he sent, but that makes no sense. This one looks like a... Wow. Okay, let's just assume that this one was the one sent. This is the response. Yeah, of course. Well, my small brain type of moment. I have my... Congrats on your big announcement to move to T+1 on settlement times. Big step forward and long overdue for the industry. My question is, will digital assets be a viable option for settling these transactions? Again, thinking of XRP. And if so, which ones? XEC and XRP are the ones that come to mind for me. He says, currently all trades settled in DTC settle versus US dollars. We are exploring expanding that to stable coins or a US CBDC, should one develop, but there is no timeline for those changes at this point, which is not a denial, not a confirmation. By the way, we can go a little bit further into all of this. Planning for T+0. Despite advancing technology, accelerating settlement times beyond T+1 is aspirational at this time due to market structure and convention. However, DTCC's Project Iron envisions an alternative settlement process flow that digitalizes DTC's eligible securities on a DLT and offers optimized processes and the ability to settle on a T+0 cycle, all while retaining the core benefits of its centralized netting and risk management because the platform will be asset agnostic, which is honestly why people thought, okay, XRP, XDC, all of those can be potentially used on top of it, which it can. The question is just, will they do that? It could potentially manage any form of asset transfer with any sort of bridge, ranging from registered securities and cash to private market securities, digital tokens, cryptocurrencies, and central bank digital currencies, among others. This is from the DTCC. So in theory, they could utilize anything that they want to, right? John Abel, Executive Director, Clearance and Settlement of Product. He's not letting anything go. I'm not so sure. This answer is not really important whatsoever. You can't really fetch anything from it. He's just saying, we're thinking about a couple things, but so I'm not so sure exactly what you can do with that information. There's a couple other pieces that I think are interesting, but let's see where we were. We were here just now. Let's move on. DTCC and crypto, a little video that I think you guys will most likely like to watch. Also, what's going on with the views? I'm noticing now we have 170. So we dropped from 300 to 270. Something's wrong here. I'm not sure what's wrong, but something's wrong. Let me watch it on a phone. On my phone, I've turned off those internets to make sure the stream is as possible. Very strange. Very strange. Let's watch this video real quick. 2 minutes. I think we can, right? Yes, there we go.
DTCC, we're looking at, the work that we're doing at DTCC, we're looking at both private and public blockchains. And I think that's really important because, again, we want to make sure that we have that optionality within our solutions. And there are different trade-offs between the different public protocols and private protocols. So when we are looking at the public protocols, we recognize that there is an immutability that needs to be recognized. There's certain, there's certain trade-offs that we're just going to have to be aware of. When we think of the private blockchains and those protocols, obviously we have a significant degree of flexibility in terms of governance. And so the constraint of immutability is not as permanent there. And when you think of, our DTCC and our clients, we are sat in a highly regulated industry. And so we need to be really thoughtful about what it means to look at the trade-offs that the technology applies, but understand that this needs to function within the regulatory framework. And so private blockchains have been very...
So there I'm already thinking it needs to follow within those regulations. So would that kind of exclude XRP from anything because it's being questioned? Or is that like is that a literal dig against it, or is it nothing? Let's take it again.
Function within the regulatory framework. And so trade-offs that the technology applies, but understand that this needs to function within the regulatory framework. And so private blockchains have been very interesting to us for that reason, for the flexibility that they provide. And within that flexibility, there are fewer trade-offs that we have to evaluate in terms of the use case.
Right. Yeah, obviously, the big trade-off, what you miss out on is perhaps the reachability of a public blockchain, but that may not necessarily be the mission that you're trying to achieve.
Exactly.
DTCC is in charge of all of the stocks in the United States. They literally custody every single stock certificate that exists. DTCC is exploring public blockchains. A public blockchain is a crypto. She explains that public chains are immutable, and private permission systems allow more flexibility, or in other words, they can reverse transactions. The IOU system on the XRP ledger allows freezing, reversing of transactions, etc. And to be clear, it's only IOUs that you could freeze.
So the only strange point then, because this sounds really amazing actually, this sounds even more exciting, even though the previous statement that we saw was rather from, what was his name again? Ilya? What was the name now? Let's see quickly again. From our, I don't know where it was, but the previous guy sounded rather suspicious. This one is a really positive one, you know, whenever you hear them speak, and what I think Riz added at the end there as well, I'm not sure if that was him or somebody else speaking. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. You know, at the end of the day, it's true what he's saying. They can do anything. That's just the regulation part that's kind of making me question. It's kind of making me question why. Long, strange trip. Ripple Labs names Donald Donahue as advisor. Oh, by the way, yeah, this goes on for a lot as well. This is a longer story in all of this. Let's just quickly go over the glimpses of it, right? So we know about the DTCC now. You've read everything. Ripple Labs, the global leader in distributed payments, yada, 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 has named Donald Donahue president and CEO of Miranda Partners, LLC, and the former CEO of the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, DTCC, as an advisor to the company. I've spent now 27 minutes, and that was actually a little problem. I was a little bit slow with concluding things. The reason I call it this, like, something strange is happening, is because everything, all the dots are connecting together all of a sudden. And I kind of forgot somewhere along the road because we found so many other pieces. But that's where it kind of gets crazy. You know, this is 7 years ago also already. Ripple got themselves former CEO of the DTCC. And you can see what's starting to happen, right? With the connection they've got with R3, how that is all connected potentially to the XP Ledger, and what everybody's speaking about now with how over on their newest platform, over just within the US, with the DTCC's plans, they have a lot of potential for utilizing XRP. And the question is, will they do that? Well, apparently they're already pretty connected to Ripple. Then again, they could also, like we saw in, I think, this this previous post right here, it could, theoretically speaking, be so that if we follow Abel's ideas, that it would just have to be, for example, let's see again where it was, some sort of, even the video that we just watched, that it's going to be some part of the one of Ripple's private ledgers, you know, or just not the main XRP ledger, for example, or potentially just utilizing, because even if he's saying here they'll go for USCBDC, you can still use XRP as a bridge currency, even though this whole statement is not completely that useful. It's interesting to think about. It goes on further. Blockchain increasing payment efficiency. March 7th or March 3rd, 2017. Yale Law School. Jesse Chang, Deputy GC. Ripple Rob Hunter, Executive MD of Deputy GC. Well, Clearinghouse, Joseph Grossa, and a couple other people. Let's should we listen to this one all the way through? I did not listen to this one up front as well. You know what? Let's listen to it. I don't think they're going to copy strike me, so I think we'll be fine.
So either Alpha Bank and Beta Bank had accounts. With Sigma Bank, or you have a connector, a common account holder that has an account with Alpha Bank and with Beta Bank. But what if there were a way for Alpha Bank and Beta Bank to connect without even needing that? They could use, say, XRP. So this is the digital asset that's native to the Ripple consensus ledger. They could use that as a bridging tool. So in contrast to our previous examples, the hypos where it was fiat currency from end to end, each link along the way involved fiat currency. Here, banks like Alpha Bank and Beta Bank can use virtual currency to bridge that missing link just between them. And this tool could be especially useful for banks that are supporting emerging markets. So let's say we have Alpha Corp, now sitting in Brazil, wants to make a payment to Beta Corp, now sitting in Thailand for products that it purchased. So this means that Brazilian real are withdrawn from Alpha Corp's account with Alpha Bank, and Thai baht are deposited into Beta Corp's account with Beta Bank.
Okay, okay.
But same questions before. How do Alpha Bank and Beta Bank bridge that
Okay, interesting. Let's continue on. By the way, if you're wondering why I keep muting my microphone, the actual reason is because I'm listening to this in speaker mode. So if I put it on,
that missing link
you're going to hear it kind of echoey, so I don't like
between them? As a practical matter, it might be hard to find a common account holder that happens to have accounts in Brazil and in Thailand. But what if Alpha Bank happened to hold some XRP? And what if Beta Bank were willing to accept to receive some XRP? So their XRP balances are recorded on a distributed ledger. So this is virtual currency balances recorded on the Ripple consensus ledger. Those two banks, Alpha Bank and Beta Bank, could agree as a commercial matter that Beta Bank has received full payment from Alpha Bank in connection with the Alpha Corp to Beta Corp payment upon a transfer of a certain amount of XRP from Alpha Bank to Beta Bank. And in determining the exact amount of the XRP to be transferred, Alpha Bank and Beta Bank are implicitly agreeing to an exchange rate. So for example, Beta Bank would view this amount as the XRP it's willing to receive in exchange for that Thai bot payment that's on paying to Beta Corp. And we have the same outcome here as in each of the hypos before, where we bridge that link between Alpha Bank and Beta Bank. But this time we don't rely on a single central party like Sigma Bank, and we also don't have any account relationships involved.
Okay, that is extremely bullish. Just making sure that we're still all good to go. Oh, well, that's fine, I guess. You guys can hear me. All is good. The reason, by the way, I'm wondering about a lot of things. One of those is why I sometimes get dropped frames. So if anybody's wondering why I'm being such a little whiny ass about it, about the views or whatever, it doesn't matter. You know, if there's 17 people watching, 40 people watching, it doesn't make a difference. The only thing I'm wondering about is why every 10 minutes or so, there's one big drop in my frames. I can see like my little green icon gets red. And then I see a drop of about 70 people or 70 viewers. I'm just wondering where it comes from. So then I'm asking you guys if it's on my end that it's faulty, or if there's something strange happening every now and then. That's the reason I'm asking. So if you're wondering about it. If you're wondering why I keep asking you, like, hey, can you please interact? It's because I just don't understand exactly what's going on. So after that video, Digital Asset Investor shared, what a coincidence. Jerome Powell was actually at that same event. He was hearing her speak about why XRP in that sense through Ripple can be so useful. Because Jerome Powell afterwards gave his own blockchain keynote from, again, 5 years ago. It feels crazy to me to say that 2017 is 5 years ago. Right? That's already crazy to me to think about. And again, who would have thought, right? Hey, Brad Garlinghouse, connected to all the people, right? All the people. You've seen this multiple different times. This was blockchain, the central bank perspective, where Brad Garlinghouse has talked with all these people before. People are actually going pretty deep. You can't see it, but it's over on the right here, or on the bottom if I open it up. People usually are also crazy with drawing on the connections with all the people here, by the way. But I think the consensus is quite important. People don't really like Jerome Powell anymore for all the strange things he said over the last couple of months, or last couple of years, you might even add. There's a couple other fun parts, I guess. Digital Asset Investor has been a beast, sharing a lot of crazy stuff. For example, right now, CEO Brian Armstrong of Coinbase is going after a couple things. And he's basically going on an interview pretty recently here over on CNBC. Tune in to let his take over coin competition, Wall Street partnerships, cost cutting, and more. And Digital Asset Investor, rightfully so, says, ask him why he delisted XRP the second the SEC filed a lawsuit, but he didn't delist any of the 9 tokens that the SEC claimed are securities in the insider trading case of the past Coinbase employee. This is actually something I've yet to discuss with you guys over on my channel here, but it's one question that I do indeed have a lot. Aren't you guys understanding of this? So when the SEC sued Ripple, all these exchanges were like, ooh, let's get rid of this coin. which is fine if you're going to stay true to your word. He apparently will most likely be allowed not to speak on the issue, I think, because one legal representative from Coinbase will most likely speak eventually to explain, we'll talk with SEC advisors, or they'll not say anything whatsoever. But it is rather strange that indeed they did not let go of all the other cryptos the moment that they got sued, that they were not like, okay, we might delist these or anything like that. They did not do that. So that is very strange to me, the fact that they're playing games with that. Isn't it? Isn't it rather strange to you guys as well? By the way, guys, if you're still watching this right now, make sure you press that like button. I'm still very much unaware of why it keeps lagging. I'm sorry about it, guys. I'll most likely fix it next episode. It's a good question to have, and I'll talk about it later on. I'm going to do a little bit more research and get some info out to you guys. And, oh man, I have like 1,000 things open today. It's actually really crazy. So, last thing the digital asset investor shared is for your information, the SEC decided Bitcoin was not a security in 2013. There's a little 1-minute video right here. Let's quickly check this out as well.
I'm Karen Ubell. I'm special counsel at Cooley, based here in the Bay Area. So I work predominantly with issuers and investors now in the blockchain and cryptocurrency space, and have done so for quite a while. My background actually is start in the space starts at the SEC in 2013 when the Winklevoss failed the Bitcoin ETF. It came to my desk. I was in this group that got anything new, weird, unique, and novel, and it fit all of those categories. And was part of the group that, kind of had to figure out whether or not Bitcoin at that time, whether we thought it was a security at the SEC. And even though Bill Hinman took a while to actually announce it, we at that time actually said, no, this is more like a commodity than a security. So
I was saying I can't read this. It's too small. It's too messed up. But this is actually from a long time ago as well. This was what he said was, hey, Charles and Eleanor Tourette from Fox. I think Karen Ubell can help you clear this up. She was in 2013 basically talking about the fact that that Bitcoin was fine. Even though a year ago and whatnot, people were saying that Bitcoin might also not be fine. But yeah, that goes on for a little while. All right, let's see what else we had here. I had so many things open at the start. One thing that was strange, by the way, is what Aries shared here. This is about XLM. Oh, you guys know audio? Or are we good? We good? All right. I'm not sure. Are you guys holding XLM? Aries shared this, and I think it's rather strange about XLM indeed. Really, really interesting. Based on FTX Japan, exchange delisting XLM was curious to look at other activity over the last 2 months. So, apparently, Bitfinex delisted XLM ETH as a pair because of low liquidity. Okay, fine. Crex24, an Estonian exchange, also delisted XRP for no reason. L-Bank, a UAE exchange, apparently also delisted XLM for no reason. Now, on the other side, OKX and Robinhood did add XLM. It's questionable exactly why this is happening. Why is there such strange activity over a lot of specifically, I guess not so well-known exchanges? No, actually every exchange here, because FTX Japan. Now, why is this going on in a lot of interesting countries? This XLM ETH pair we can exclude because this is logical. If a pair has low liquidity, it can be. But then FTX in Japan specifically, Crex, an Estonian exchange, and L-Bank in the UAE all delist XLM. Are they prepared or scared for XLM's consequences in the US? But even then, none of these are US based or have anything to do with the US. So why would they be afraid of XLM going the same fate as XRP, for example? Not so sure exactly why they're having this strange stance on it. Also, this is not trying to FUD Stellar. This is just a observation, and I really appreciate her for sending this up and putting up a little debate. She actually does this quite often. Now, there's actually another thing. So, one thing that Crypto Aries shared, and I think Crypto Aries is one of the best ones in the space, guys. I really enjoy her work a lot. She shared this. The facts, Lex Fridman. Bitcoin has never been deemed a currency. A commodity maybe, but not a currency. Again, we can debate about whether or not it's actually officially been called a commodity before. A lot of people have said that it was, even though Gary Gensler is not completely agreeing with that. As again, The SEC now arguing that it has not officially declared Bitcoin and Ether compliant cryptos, according to the testimony in the SEC v. Ripple case. That appears to be a 180 from not just Bill Hinman's speech, but the regulatory approach of former Chair Jay Clayton. Point just being, it's debatable whether or not they ever made up their mind on the matter, but take a look at this. Let's actually just watch this little 40-second clip of the video. I think this is interesting.
In investing in general, the best return, trying to kind of put that in air quotes a little bit, is something that is different than everything else and right. So being different and wrong just means you're an idiot, right? Being different and right means that that's where kind of the outsized returns are. And so if you look around the world at currencies today, they're all the same. They're all inflationary, unlimited supply controlled by a government, done and decisions made in a very non-transparent process. And what we've watched is the manipulation of all of those currencies over the last 12 months. In direct contrast to that is this thing, Bitcoin, which is outside of the system, has a finite supply, transparent and programmatic monetary policy. In investing in general, the best return, trying to kind of put that in air quotes a little bit, is something that is different than everything else and right. So being different and wrong just means you're an idiot, right? Being different and right means that that's where kind of the outsized returns are. And so if you look around the world at currencies today, they're all the same. They're all inflationary, unlimited supply controlled by a government, done and decisions made in a very non-transparent process. And what we've watched is the manipulation of all of those currencies over the last 12 months. In direct contrast to that is this thing, Bitcoin, which is outside of the system, has a finite supply, transparent and programmatic monetary policy.
Okay, I'm not so sure exactly then why. Maybe because Bitcoin is not officially a currency, she states this. A commodity maybe, but not a currency. In 2015, however, XRP was deemed a virtual currency by FinCEN. XRP in the XP ledger is outside of the system, 100% decentralized, transparent, finite supply, and not inflationary as well as positive parts. Huh. I mean, he's not doing anything bad. It's just he didn't say that much, I guess. And people are, I guess, angry that he did not inform Lex Fridman enough, maybe? Not sure exactly about that part. By the way, oh my days, the community went crazy on this one. Guys, have you all seen this? FED says, have a great evening day. You have to go. No worries, my friend. I'll see you later. Thank you just for stopping by, my friend. I always appreciate you being there. Even though your name is difficult to pronounce. People went crazy over this article in the community. Ripple sells millions of USD in XRP as it partakes in shifting 318 million XRP. Ripple moved 60 million, 318 million total sent, highest XRP wallet activity this year. Again, Ripple moved 60 million here, and they moved, apparently, they're saying 120 million from FTX to a wallet. However, it's not known that this is specifically Ripple, right? But apparently this is the highest activity all year. These big wallets shifted lumps of more than $100,000 worth of XRP a lot here. So it's the highest amount of transfers since May 13th. Interesting. So let's quickly take a look. Whale alert detected. What is going on with my speech? Half a dozen XRP transfers over the past 24 hours. Ripple has shifted 60 million XRP from its RL18. Where does it say 18? What is going on with me? RL92MN wallet to its RL18VN. Okay, never mind. There it says RL18. The latter is usually used by the company to transfer XRP to ODL platforms that collaborate with Ripple. Otherwise, it sends crypto to Ripple customers, banks, exchanges, etc., or simply to sell XRP in order to get fiat for the company to cover operational expenses, of which the lawsuit, by the way, is one, and the lawsuit already cost over $100 million, by the way. But from RL18VN, 40 million XP were sent to an unknown address. The rest of the 317 million XRP was moved with the participation of such exchanges as Bittrex, Bitso, Bitstamp, and custodial service BitGo. Now, whenever it goes to a custodial service like BitGo, I usually expect it to be because they're sending this to a client that bought it or a company that bought it and they want to hold it there, right? Because it's a custodian. Or it's for liquidity purposes on BitGo, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. Or this is also a big exchange. Otherwise, why would you send it so much XRP? So that's always a beautiful thing. The other ones, it depends. You know, if it's a Bitso, I keep thinking about, okay, Maybe that's for the ODL department, so that's again bullish. If it's a bit, that it could all be for ODL purposes, right? Maybe Bitstamp. Because otherwise you might think, okay, they might be selling on there, but it's even then, is it bad? It just depends on what they do with that, and usually they're quite open with how much they're buying back, how much they're selling. And at the end of the day, everything is for the betterment of the XRP ledger at the end of the day. That's what the operational expenses are referring to. So yeah, this is still actually pretty good. Even though these expenses might look scary to you, it's not actually a bad or scary thing. What is scary, again, is the SEC chairman's speech. There's no reason to give crypto a special status. There's no reason to treat crypto market differently from the rest of the capital markets just because it uses different tech. Recent markets events show why it's critical that crypto firms comply with security laws. In recent months, some crypto lending platforms have frozen their investors' accounts or gone bankrupt, which I already told you guys is one of the fun parts about this. I think it's... it finally went out, huh? The screensaver had enough. It's kind of funny how I already expected, and I already told you guys, no, this is blue screen, this is now no more, that they were going to use all these lending platforms as a critical example of why crypto should be regulated in a certain way. Which is why I think they were pretty happy. Gary Gensler was probably in his office thinking, oh yes, for all these exchanges to have troubles, or all these lending platforms to have troubles. Because now they could say, well, look at that, they need regulation. Which partially is true. When it comes to bankruptcy, these investors have to get in line at the court. Wait, in recent months, some crypto lending platforms have frozen their investors' accounts or gone bankrupt. When it comes to bankruptcy, these investors have to get in line at the court because that's how it's going to be scheduled or done. Compliance with the laws protects the investing public. Unfortunately, some platforms that offer crypto lending aren't complying with the applicable requirements. And there's where things once more get difficult because the requirements are rather difficult. Coinbase wanted to go for a lend product and the SEC said, no, we're going to go for crazy subpoenas. Other lending platforms, well, they'll just move overseas, and so you can't protect you as investors. You can say, oh, they can't use it, but even with Ripple, for example, they can literally just go outside the US, not sell to US customers, and just be fine as a company. So his own words is like, we'll only protect US investors, but even then half-ass it because, well, apparently there's a crazy amount of demand because other people around the world will keep buying it. We'll just exclude the US investors from getting into it, which is not by definition protecting, it's just withholding. You know, talking about withholding, Bitcoin holders are withdrawing from exchanges like never before. Apparently, they're pretty bullish on the matter. I mean, a big crypto bull, to be honest with you. Everything I've been reading here the last couple of weeks is all just bullish news anyway. You can see short-term negativity, but at the end of the day, the longer scheme is just bullish, man. A lot of this short-term stuff, it doesn't matter too much. It really doesn't, if you think about it. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying this live stream, make sure you press the like button. We're almost at 200 likes, I think, right? Let's quickly check it out. We are at 164, but we have had over 1,600 people watching. So if you guys all press that like button right now, we are instantly above 200 likes. Make sure you press that button right now. It is greatly appreciated. So if you're wondering, by the way, what the next most important date is in the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit, you're asking that rightfully. So the most important date in the lawsuit by far is going to be September 13th. All right? Let's hope that's not a Friday, I guess. I'm just kidding. But that's by far the most important date in the near term, as the motions for summary judgment are going to be coming out at that day. All right. So what is happening, Dusty? That's happening. Motions for summary judgment and Rule 56.1 Statement of Undisputed Facts must be filed by September 13th. Oppositions to motions for summary judgment and responses must be filed afterwards, like a month later, and then the replies another month later. But just so you guys know, that's the most important date for the lawsuit, if you're wondering. And again, we've now concluded, just to make sure you guys are all on the same page as well, we concluded everything in regards to the whole DTCC debacle, right? It's a very interesting one, but we have explained it. Actually, Ari is coming in as well. Explain in full. R3, quote, XRP falls into the wholesale category because even while XRP can be purchased by retail customers, only institutional customers can use RippleNet. Open your eyes. Ripple commits $1 billion XRP grants to advance XRP ledger development. This is retail, everyone. Okay. We have a whole section below on what regulated means. Second, no official token glossary exists. There are ongoing... Can you guys all see everything properly? Let me check. There we go. We have a whole section below on what regulated means. Second, no official token glossary exists, though there are ongoing efforts at both the platform level and the legislative level. And finally, we make some judgment calls about token types that technically fall into multiple categories. XRP falls into the wholesale category because even while XRP can be purchased by retail customers, only institutional customers can use RippleNet. You might also notice that some things are missing from the figure. We don't include utility coins because they represent a subset of crypto. We also left out some prominent tokens. If they don't use blockchain for all use cases, one example here is China's CBDC called the DCEP, which uses blockchain in a limited fashion. So let us go back then to, I think, what Brad Kimes shared, right? Let me quickly see it again. Where did Brad Kimes share this? I don't know if I have it open anymore. Maybe it's on... maybe we can find it on the... Let's just type it in, Brad Kimes. Or Digital Perspectives it is. There we go. Perspectives. Let's quite quickly find this. Because he also shared just something and we read that out loud, but I want to see it again. Just quickly try to find this. Yeah, he's sharing a lot about the DTCC and things are good in that nature, right? There's nothing negative I can say about the whole DTCC debacle. I think he shared this, no? Was it not? Ooh, maybe it was actually Digital Asset Investor then. Who shared that part about the... Let's check this out. Wait a minute. Who shared that just... Oh, here we go. Yeah, it was a couple days ago, though. Okay, so he said... Again, R3 says XRP is wholesale. Because that's, again, what's written in the story above, and I did not see that at the time. Knee bone connected to the leg bone. Because you can actually see in the wholesale bracket... It's actually in everything, by the way. Except for the regulated part, which is, I guess, too bad. The reason I'm saying it's too bad is because one of those representatives just said they're looking for that first. And that's what they're looking into. Then again, USDC and USDT, they also refer to stablecoins, are also not in that little ballpark. And JPM coin is in there, which is actually was the central question of today, which was mostly around the fact that nobody really seems to understand whether or not JPM coin is actually a security or not, which is also what the Digital Asset Investor actually popped up today. The question of, is it a security or not? These are good questions. These are very, very good questions. They just put an ad on your live stream. Like, what is YouTube doing? Really? So do you get an ad while watching? Because apparently, since a couple of days, I actually have a button to in place. I've not had this before, all right? I have this since a couple of days. I have a button that inserts ads into you guys' viewing experience. Before, a couple, like, months ago when I used to stream, if I pressed that button, because we tried it a couple of times, what it basically did is it placed an ad in the aftermath of the video. But I have it on my YouTube settings that it can enter ads anywhere. Huh. Or maybe your page just reloads by accident so it comes up. Do all of you guys get ads or no? Yeah, I also have YouTube Premium, by the way. I have not seen an ad in such a long time. I forget that they even exist. It's kind of funny. I have ad blocker. Okay, can somebody ban the Kung Fu YouTuber? No, I understand, man. I always have ad blocker. Don't waste your time with ads. It's completely fine. It's just on the phone you cannot do it, right? Which is rather annoying. Oh, you can. If you watch through Brave, maybe, or something like that. Again, guys, don't think I'm here to claim your ad money. Please, if you want to skip any ad, please go right on ahead. If you want ad blocker, please don't think you have to turn off the ad blocker. Please don't. Don't waste your time watching ads. It's dumb. All right? Please, I'd rather have you just use your time usefully than watch an ad. If you have the money, I would always say pay for this stuff that just makes things easier in your life. Of which one of those can be YouTube Premium. I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, you know. I watch a lot of audiobooks as well. And even though most of them don't have ads, some of them do. I just can't be bothered. I really can't. And I don't know how much it costs. I think it's like $6 over in the UAE for me. I'm not sure. Maybe it's $10, $20. I don't know. It's worth every single penny. All right. You can also download videos, which is also awesome because there's one store I often go to, and I don't know who thought of this. I don't know who thought this would be a good idea, but they made sure that if you die in the store, nobody's going to be able to help you because you have zero connection in that store. All right. So I need to download something because I take long store trips. When I go into a store, I'm going to stay there for 25 minutes. And fun fact, I'm going to go to that store in a second just now. But yeah, then I download something and I go inside. If I'm going on a plane and I travel a lot, as you guys probably know, yeah, I download YouTube videos because that's awesome. Oh, yeah, life can be good sometimes. Life can be good sometimes. YouTube Premium is indeed pretty nice. Not sure why I'm saying you should go for it. At the end of the day, it's also kind of garbage. I think, but it's smart from their side to have a premium version. But they should have just allowed everybody to download things easily. That would have been the most awesome thing like 10 years ago or so. Yeah, things are doing good though, guys, right? I have a lot of other subjects, but I think I might just make another little update video later today, as I have a lot of these other strange theories and update pieces. So, for example, Samsung Crypto Exchange. Apparently, they want to go for that, maybe. Samsung Securities to launch its own crypto exchange potentially next year. That could be something which is going to be interesting. However, I have not verified all the sources. It's just a local news outlet, Newspim, that says this might be happening. But it's not that much information. I can't really verify anything. I just read about it. So I don't want to make too much of a video about it just yet. Because I don't have all the info just quite yet. There's these different ideas about the Bitcoin price. Peter Schiff expects Bitcoin to dump. But there's also the Glassnode co-founder who has 5 facts that speak against Bitcoin, which I'm also not sure whether or not this is going to be interesting at all. But I'll definitely cover it later somewhere. We have, again, the record amount of Bitcoin being taken from exchanges, which I think is interesting. We have Scaramucci, who says Bitcoin will actually increase in utility and become even a better hedge against inflation. And then we, and then we have, of course, that over the next couple of days, Mt. Gox is going to happen. In the sense that Mt. Gox's Bitcoin is going to be released onto the markets again. So yeah, I just had to quickly share all that for you guys. Every ad is a couple more XRP for you. A little fun fact, I have yet to claim my YouTube income. So it's actually still stuck in YouTube. So even though what you're saying is true, I have not connected a bank account to YouTube yet. So I've never gotten a payout yet. So I've not bought crypto with my YouTube funds. I have a different YouTube account. I guess that one might be connected actually. But a little fun fact. How often do you guys need a bank account? Just a question I should say. I've noticed I want to do something on Fiverr just now. And that's what I'm going to need a bank account for. But I literally have zero use for a bank account except for paying family maybe. Why else would I ever use a bank account for? For bills? No, I could pay any bill I have in crypto. Yeah. Even my phone bill, for example, I pay it with my crypto card. Because I have that, which is a Visa card if you need it, you know, because I bought a new computer, bought a new screen. That I need to pay with fiat, but I use the crypto card then, which still works fine. So then, what exactly do you really need fiat for? Format says Samsung Exchange news is everywhere. Google, the past 12 hours have packed with search with multiple news reports and articles. Format, don't get it wrong. It's everywhere, but is it verifiable? Because a lot of sources, like mine, for example, we all cite the same one source from a local news outlet. And actually, a lot of my articles are also cross-referencing. You see, for example, here, and this is an important thing when you become a quote-unquote news reporter, you can see here, it's reports, say, right? One of those reports they quote here is Newspim and CryptoPotato. And CryptoPotato, I believe, actually refers back to Newspim. So Newspim is our central source, which everybody is leeching off of, which again might be true. It sounds kind of logical that they go for this, but you always have to be a little bit cautious when just assuming something. So I always like to do a little bit of fact checking before I put it out there. You know what I mean? And now I'm putting it out there in the sense of, hey, this might be something to look into, but I'm not saying like, hey, this is going to happen, just because I want to make sure it's verifiable first. I want to go through a couple different sources, and then we will conclude it to be truth. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, you can also understand. It's like, this has happened so often in news where one guy, and who, I think some big Twitter accounts actually got in trouble as well. If you keep citing no source, not a problem if you're always right and the source behind it that you quoted, even though you did not put it on paper, but you used, let's say, is factual. If I put up a post over on my Twitter with the just in or whatever stuff, I make sure that I checked it from so many different sources that there's a very small chance for it to be wrong, or I put reportedly, and then, I most of the time put a source if it's reportedly. But the reason I don't put so many just ins nowadays is because sometimes I'm afraid what if the news is wrong, So then you have to put up a source. If you're debating, like for example this, I often put up a source. Then again, I believe for this one I put reportedly or something like that. Or in this case, there's also a May, which is not Samsung is going to launch or is looking to launch. It says may launch its own crypto exchange. And in theory, you can put this for anything. Apple may launch a new exchange next year. May, who knows, right? There's no reason that they can't. It's just they probably won't, but they may. Sure. I may be able to fly tomorrow. I mean, you don't know. It might be. So that it's about the wording. It's about making sure. Whatever. Maybe I should eventually just go study journalism, right, to become even more professional, as it apparently is part of my job now. I don't consider being a YouTube guy a job, by the way, for anybody wondering. I don't consider this for a single % a job, but I do like it a lot. It's a very fun busyness. I don't consider it a hobby either. I just consider it kind of like a local duty. All right, you guys are I don't know if I consider you friends or just like colleagues or what. We're all on one line in a certain degree. Because at the end of the day, when I speak to a lot of you guys, right, for example, in Telegram now and then or before in Discord or on Twitter, I noticed a lot of these people have way more information than me. So what makes it, quote unquote, special? I'm not above anybody. I never think about it that way. But it's also not as if I consider you guys, how do you say it? When somebody's a viewer, sometimes you kind of think about it like, oh, he's watching me because I have something which they, how do you say it in the best way? Do not have or know something. At the end of the day, though, whatever I showcase, a lot of you guys could just look it up. So I'm just thinking about it like I'm just aggregating information here that you guys could find too, but I'm just helping everybody out. But at the end of the day, you guys are helping out by partially viewing, partially interacting and commenting, and then also partially by helping provide the article. So it's kind of like intertwined. I don't know. Kind of strange. Is BitBoy Crypto a source? Lol. Kidding. Rolls eyes. He said duty. Did I say? Oh, duty. No, duty. I don't know. Oh, whatever. It's fine. BitBoy Crypto, by the way. I'm going to send him a message to actually get another interview going, I think. Because he's suing another YouTuber, right? And I want to know exactly what he's on about with that lawsuit. So I'm going to try to see if he wants to do another interview soon. A lot of you guys said you don't like BitBoy, though. But I personally think he's a pretty cool guy. You got to understand, BitBoy's operation, he has how many employees? 150 or so? It's a big freaking team they got. It's not one person making these choices. Most likely, if he says, hey, my source is cited, it's like a big line of people giving him this information. It's not him being a douchebag or anything. And if he's being a douchebag, well, we'll talk about it tomorrow. And when I say tomorrow, I mean the moment I get him to agree to an interview. Because, I'm going to ask him today, I think, or maybe tomorrow. That's what I meant with we'll see tomorrow, because maybe I'll get an interview done. Jeff says, am I a weirdo who's watching? Yeah. Yes, my friend. Welcome. Holland says BitBoy's okay. I personally, I like the guy a lot. He's a nice guy. He sounds nice normally, so I don't know. Same thing goes for any person I've spoken to, right? Jeremy Hogan, I need to do a redo for. Because my interview, that was the first interview I've ever done. That was kind of shitty, I found, on my end, right? A lot of you guys said don't interrupt him as much, don't make so many jokes. Learned from that. John Deaton's interview was a lot of fun. I think we can also do another redo of that because it's been over a year. No, it's been half a year, I think. And if you guys don't remember, the John Deaton interview was actually my face reveal. So it was one of my best performing videos in a long time, by the way. But I think we can also do that over because, well, he deserves a special place in my heart. And then BitBoy we did an interview for, and I think those are the only ones which I've done. Maybe we did a stream with Crypto Rover. We've done a couple other things. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get a lot of interviews done for you guys. If you have anybody who you'd like to watch, let me know in the chat box right now. Who would you like to see on a channel? Because I basically can just text anybody. If they say no, well, I guess I know who we get. I'm going to go text Jeremy Hogan, John Deaton. I could potentially try James Fillon, but I don't think I've ever seen him speak anywhere. And you got to also wonder for yourself, right? For example, if I get a person like some people are pretty hard to interview because what exactly are you going to, for example, get out of them that people will want to know? Because it kind of has to be like for example, with John Dean, I could talk about the lawsuit, right? Which is very important. With BitBoy, I could talk about his specific lawsuit and about his XRP experience now. With BC Backer, for example, even though I've only spoken to him a couple of times, what exactly can I talk about in the talk, for example? And the same thing goes for Moon Lambo. I think we have a similar knowledge of the XRP space. So then I can only ask him about his specific parts. But then what exactly do I, if you know what I mean? Like with Moon Lambo, if I interview him, what exactly will I ask him? And it's not that they don't have a lot of cool info. I'm just not sure if I'm qualified to fetch that information out of them yet. I might need to kind of start up with some easier ones. Because what exactly am I able to get out of Moon Lambo in terms of entertainment for you viewers? Arthur Brito, that's the most important one, huh? It's impossible to get him to do an interview. I think. Arthur Brito. If only that was possible. That would be awesome. Even says interviews will reveal what they reveal. Sure, but then yeah, there's also priorities, I guess, huh? Because I don't want to just bomb an interview onto everybody every week. Maybe I should. Maybe I should just do an interview every single week. Could also be fun. Talk crypto conspiracies. Has Moon Lambo shown his face? I think never yet, right? So that will also be okay, you know what? I'll get it done. So you guys have requested Moon Lambo. I'm gonna text him up. David Swartz, he's not gonna respond. I've tried it 1,000 times. So I'll do first. All right. Moon Lambo, John Deaton, Jeremy Hogan. Coin Bureau is possible, I think. Maybe. I met up with him a little while ago, but it's also hard because they also have hundreds of employees, it feels like. So, and who exactly? You mean Guy from Coin Bureau or a different person at the Coin Bureau guys? Because there's so many people that work there. So Jeremy Hogan, John Deaton, Moon Lambo, Jeremy. I'm gonna write it down. I'll write it down who exactly you guys want, and we'll text everybody. You know what? I'm just gonna send 10 emails out today at least, and then we will see how things go. Moon Lambo, BC Backer. I think BC Backer said no, by the way. If I remember correctly, he said he was not interested in interviews, which again is completely respectable as well. I think he said no when I asked him a couple months ago. Would you guys like to see Bearable Bull? He said yes to me last time, but I didn't plan it in. Bearable Bull we could do. So I'm going to take off BC Back because I think he doesn't want to. Bearable Bull, that could be cool. He has some crazy thoughts. Digital Asset Investor also did not reply, so he's also not going to be able to do. Okay, we'll put John Deaton, Jeremy Hogan, Elon Musk. Okay, but come on, let's make it realistic. Thinking Crypto, all right? But is he going to do an interview with me or meet with him? Thinking Crypto, we'll get that done. Couple of these guys I do not know. Brad Gullinghouse. Where do you start with an interview to Brad Gullinghouse? Where do you start that? Who do you email to get that going? Vallejo Capital. I don't think I'd like that. So Vallejo Capital, if you guys do not know, is the I'm not sure if he's even a fund manager or what he is, who is ahead, or he's the upper guy behind the $35,000 and even $50,000 XP price predictions. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but I just disagree with him so far that I'm not even sure if I want to show that to my viewers. I'm not like a controversy-seeking type of person, so I'd just rather not be involved. I don't really agree with him. BB has lost credibility. What happened? What has happened, my friends? Brad's pretty busy, but you could try Twitter. Guys, I don't think the chance of me nailing Brad Gullinghouse is rather small. I think I have to start small first. King Solomon. Solomon I'd like to speak to. That would be awesome. That could be very cool. You guys are right. Solomon is also one of the guys I look up to. Oh, and Ari. Why do you guys... Nobody said Crypto Ari. Let me ask those. So, that's my list. Tanvir, we were just discussing now because we've talked about a lot. It's been over an hour and 10 minutes about what people we should interview to have some cool shows on the channel rather soon. I'm going to go for BitBoy because I just want to ask him a couple questions. We're going to go for Moon Lambo because you guys want to see it. Bearable Bull, John Deaton, Jeremy Hogan, Thinking Crypto, King Solomon, and Crypto Ari. We're going to get that done. And then afterwards, we will discuss what's next. So a couple of you guys are saying, Cobb, does he still do YouTube or anything? Crypto Ari, we got. Coins Kid, I've never spoken to him before. I don't think we follow each other, so I don't know. Hey, by the way, for anybody watching, if you want to support me as well, hey, you know, I gotta plug myself a little bit. Somebody said BB is a clickbait on Instagram. Man, if you want to help me out, make sure you go ahead and check my Instagram out and comment, you know. I put up what's your favorite crypto here over on Instagram. Look at the picture. You know, it's a bed in the freaking desert. How many people can say they've been on a bed like this? You know, not that many people. Just go check it out. Give me a little like. You know, why not? Or yeah, I have a lot of cool pictures on here. I'm changing up. I used to have only memes on here, and I'm changing it up to more you know, actual content of me. So if you guys appreciate that, you know, just help me out with a little like, you know, a little button press like that, and a little comment maybe if your favorite crypto, because that would be kind of cool. So you know. Just put it up there, you know. Aries, good choice. Fine. All right. I think we're good to go. I think you guys have given me a good list. I'm going to be busy for the next couple of days. Everybody bash that like button on this video if you enjoyed the stream as well. If you want to get those interviews done, guys, this is very important actually. Oh no, I never tweeted out that was live. No way. I have to share it now. Ooh, before people get angry. I always said. Ooh. It's a little bit too late, but I'm going to still put it up there. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, if you guys want to get these interviews done, all you have to do is whenever I tweet about it, that you guys help me out with a retweet, you know? But some of these people, I cannot get a direct contact to them. So, for example, if I wanted to get David Schwartz, you know, I try, but he always ignores me. So, which is fine, I understand, you know? He sees a lot of freaking messages. But then we have to go and try a lot of retweets, because maybe then he can see it, or a lot of, no, retweets I think is better. Maybe a lot of likes, I don't know what works better. Or a lot of tags maybe, I don't know. So yeah, but we'll get to that. Raoul Paul, okay, I'll add it to the list. I'm just gonna send like freaking 50 emails, you know? Carl the Moon, what exactly do you guys want me to talk about with him then? Because I've actually sat with him pretty often, and we talked about Bitcoin a couple times, but about XRP? Or what? What'd you guys like to discuss with Carl? Would you guys like to see Crypto Rover or Martini Guy as well? Or Satoshi Stacker, by the way. Satoshi Stacker is one of my... Oh, man, I love that guy. That's one of the best guys in crypto, I swear to you guys. That man is so humble. Satoshi Stacker. What an awesome individual. Yes. Okay, Raoul Paul, you guys said. Okay. That's not going to be an easy one either. It's going to be a very hard one. You know, actually, the more I've gone into this, I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, I'm going to be able to line up, for example, Mark Cuban and John Deeden in the same chat. But I'm wondering how hard Mark Cuban is to get onto something. I'm thinking very hard, but what if I have John Deeden? I'm going to, you know what? Let me just try. Let me just try. What do I have to lose if he says no? No problem at all. Oh, you know, we'll just make it work. We'll just make it work, I guess. Oh, that could be interesting. I need somebody to do these emails for me, man. I'm too hesitant to share emails around, but that could be awesome. And I think these things are a lot easier than I'm making it out to be. Yeah, but John Dean, yeah. One may know the other. Connections are possible. All right, I'm gonna try, guys, and I'll get back to you guys in maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see what I can get done. Tim Veer says, Dusty, I feel good this moment. I'm asking you for 10,000 giveaway. Think about my family. We're pregnant and getting into hospital next month to use money. Hey, man, I hope for you that you win, my friend. It is random, though. I cannot just give everybody money. That's why we're doing a big giveaway like this, so people have a chance to win. I've gotten at least, I'm going to say, 2,000 stories of people dying or them being in the hospital or needing money for surgery. Pick something. Can't help everybody, so we're picking 10 people to help out. And so hopefully you win. Hope it for you, my friend. But I am not giving favors. You either win through the system or you don't win. It's as simple as that. You might call it unempathetic. There's too many people to help in this world. You know, I can't send everybody money. It's impossible. And again, as I said before, there are not 1, not 10, not 100, not 1,000. There are multiple thousands of people asking or begging for money. And it's very difficult to give the appropriate answer. The best answer I can give is, I'm giving away a crazy amount of money. Sign up. If you win, you win. That's all I can do for you. Now, if you guys really think so, we can change it up. And instead of doing one big giveaway, we do a lot of small ones. For example, we change it from $10,000, split over 10 people, to split over 100 people. But as I said before, there's a couple of problems which come with that, which is that it would take probably around 3 months for people to get their money, or maybe 2 months, because I'm very hesitant with sending 100 people money and not having troubles in the midst. How do I sign up? Link is below. It's very simple. Link is below. Link down below for my $10,000 giveaway. Picking the winners in 2 weeks. Picking the winners in 2 weeks. Check it out. Link is down below. So yeah, that was it for today's stream, guys, or at least for our first stream today. Maybe I'll do another stream later today. I don't exactly know. We have some crazy Bitcoin news to talk about. So maybe, right? As I said before, all this news I want to cover more in depth, but I did not get any time here. And I don't want to stream for 2 hours in a row because then nobody was going to stream or going to look at the stream afterwards anymore. Again, guys, if you enjoyed the stream, make sure you press the like button right now. We've had, for fun's sake, just so I can show it to you guys, we've had about 2,000 people show up, which is awesome. People have been watching for roughly 7 minutes a pop, which is also pretty high. Normally, we don't get it that high. We've got about 200 and... Let's see. Got about 246 likes, which is also pretty good. Again, if you guys can get that up to 250 at least, that would be awesome. Anybody press that like button right now, and then I think we're good to leave. So yeah, thank you guys all so much for stopping by, saying hi. You guys are awesome. Every single one of you. I hope to see you guys again somewhere later today or tomorrow. I'm definitely going to get either my Shiba Inu or XLM video out today because I've already recorded them. So I can just post them whenever I please. But I'm making sure that you guys don't get cluttered up with these, talk about a crypto type of videos. I want to split them up properly. But yeah, that was it for right now, guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. See you guys again in another crypto video later today.